Hi, this is Rory, and I had a sudden hit yesterday about a really intense need to get something done, to control a situation, to fix something that wasn't personal to me even, but I had strong feelings for. Involved other people, other things, and I realized that this is a central point of my life and my journey here and how I have evolved and handled that impulse over time that has literally changed my marriage, my life, everything. And I thought it might be helpful to you to hear what that could be. All right, the moment I notice that something is bothering me and I want to fix it or change it or solve it, my first instinct is to kind of run around, just run around. So I catch that right away. I go, and I sit down somewhere. And I feel all this impulse running through my body. I want to go do this. I want to go do that. I want to write this. I want to call this person. I want to research that. And I need to sit down and hear all of those voices and everything that's going on. So that's the chief first step, is to just let it roll, but not do any of those things. And I don't want it to feel either like a rejection of all those impulses, because they're all good impulses. They're kind. They are me wanting to go into action and fix something. That's what makes me who I am, right? And that's in a lot of ways what's made me successful. I like to do stuff. I like to get stuff done. I like to help people. I like to help things. I like to solve my own issues. So I fall in love with all those impulses. I sit there and I just let it all boil. After a while, they start to sort out all by themselves. That is feminine energy in action. Letting things gather all by themselves and letting things fix themselves and sort themselves all by themselves. So that will automatically have a feeling to you as you see it kind of roiling in front of you and moving around, all these pieces and all these thoughts, and you start to feel it in your belly. Is a lot of emotion going and a lot of the direction pulling, and maybe even a laser focus on an end result. As soon as you see it all and feel it all in a really deep way, it will start to sort itself in order of importance, what I should do first. And this is how I do my own business. I get all these great ideas, and instead of just doing something, I sit down for a minute, just let it percolate. I love that word, percolate. And after a few moments, the impulse to do the first thing starts to be clear. It doesn't feel like, just a reaction among many other different directions. It feels like something I want to do first. And I go, okay. And if it doesn't involve an action where another person is concerned, calling somebody, doing something, but it involves looking something up on my phone or writing something out, I'll do that first. And as soon as I do that, everything else starts to fall into line. And all of a sudden, the fixing it out there starts to dissipate. All of a sudden I start to experience that these other people and these other things have their own ways of working things. They have their own ways of working things out. And all of a sudden I start to sense there's more than me here. There's more than me wanting to solve this. There is a lot of other energies and other people and other situations and circumstances that want to be solved in their way. So all of a sudden I start to feel like I'm alongside a bunch of other things, and then I start to feel less of a need to control those other things, and then I start to realize I do not trust. And that's at the bottom. I do not trust other people to solve their problems. That's the truth of me. Somewhere I believe in my training, from the way my mother was, from the way I was taught, that I need to solve everything in the entire world or everything will collapse. You ever feel like that? Well, that's a lot of burden to put on my own shoulders and on yours, right? So just acknowledging, whoa, I can take a deep breath when I see that it doesn't stop with just that situation, that thing I need to fix, that party that needs to be put together, or that somebody's messed up at the office and I need to step in. All of a sudden, I start to feel, whoa, I got so much of my own backyard and my own self that I can involve myself in and enjoy and go deeper into. How about maybe all of these other people and situations have their own needs, and they need to begin to be heard by me so that I can begin to trust them. And the reason that I cannot trust them to take care of their thing is because I'm afraid they're going to mess up in a way that's going to hurt me and that I can't protect myself. Or I'm afraid that I do not trust me to take care of my own backyard, my own sequence. So it's very complex, right? So next time you start to feel like you've got to just solve a whole bunch of things, sit down. Look at your child, look at your dog, see what feels urgent, see if the first order of business comes up, and see if you can bring up this word trust. I trust myself. I trust myself to take care of myself. I trust myself to love myself, and therefore I trust that person to love themselves and take care of this. I trust that person to take care of that problem. When it starts to overflow, the sense of self-trust, trusting others, less judgment, if just little bitsy pieces out there, you'll start to feel lighter. You're just going to start to feel like you could breathe a little more. You allow some space between you or me and the situation out there and all the other people involved in it. This is a big, huge thing. In order to actually make a difference in the world, in order to actually make a difference for other people, you can't do it alone. You can't do it alone because it binds up inside, and all of a sudden we're ignoring what these other people's and other situations' needs are. And there are needs in that situation that we're not aware of when we're all up in our own heads wanting to control the universe. So this is a big, big, big concept. Let's just narrow it down to control. I want to solve everything. It's all on my shoulders. I'm responsible for everything, and I just feel so wound up wanting to fix that. So sit with it, let it percolate, let the pieces kind of sort themselves as they're sorting themselves. Just let them do it. As you begin to trust the sorting situation, things will start to relax. You'll start to feel more trusting in general. And your first move will start to feel clear. All of a sudden, maybe you'll go research something, and whatever you learn, you'll absorb, and that will shift everything that you thought was so urgent into something that's feeling more pliable for you, and the first and the next steps start to appear for you. All right, this is not so specific that I can give it a title, but right in front of you here, let's give this a title. The end of the world solution. That's what it feels like. If you do not solve it, it's the end of the world. So when you're feeling the end of the world solution needed and that you are the solver, sit down, sit on the floor, lay down, let it just percolate through you. Let the order of events happen, and then the first thing that shows up that is not involving other people or solving other problems out there, but is something you want to do, research, write it down, clean up the house, whatever it is that feels most potent for you personally at that moment, go do that thing. Let your feminine energy become the action, and then see what happens next. So write this out for me, what your situations are. This means you're not going to go stomp into a room with a man and say, let's talk about this right now. Let it percolate for a minute until you know what it is you feel and how you want to express it. All right, big stuff. Talk about it more. Bye-bye for now.